Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, Safi Financial Network. August 1st, 2025. August started actually pretty spicy. I should say last the day of July actually started this sell-off. And as we expected, market reacted to this upper trend line of this channel and going down. So this is kind of like the typical scenario we have seen since 2018 when we got this top, and then bottom. And just at beginning of this year, we barely touched this area and then getting back down. April low. Everyone knows about this capitulation and getting back to the upside sharply. It's like a rubber band going up and down. And right now we are touching this upper trend line here of this channel. So we may see some kind of like a corrective move. And we were expecting about this. If you just see my previous videos, even when I'm bullish, I was kind of like giving you warning or heads up that potentially the bullish sign of the market is going to be limited to 6,400, and then it's getting back down. So last 2 days, market just going all the way down, 170 points to the downside, and right now, weekly close is 62.35 for S&P 500 going down, and I would say market can go all the way down to 5,900 to 6,000 for the next few weeks, even if it's not months. So we may see some kind of like a pullback here, and that would be a great kind of like a buying opportunity for the next rally, potentially to 7,000 areas. Still, I'm bullish, but this is not the final top. This is not blue off top, as long as I know. So if it changes the other day or next week or next month, I'm gonna be here to tell you what I've done wrong. But right now, market exactly formed the capitulation going up, and this is a very, very typical healthy correction. We may see some kind of like a 6,005 to 10% to the downside for the next rally to the upside. Moving on to weekly chart. Weekly chart is kind of like giving us a better picture here that the stochastic momentum we got into overbought condition. However, see that here's the huge divergence in MACD, which tells me that we're gonna see more sell-off. And here is another confirmation for RSI. We see that whenever we see this huge divergence in weekly chart, we may see the correction in a weekly chart happening. So it's not gonna be a daily correction; it's gonna be weekly correction, and we may see some kind of like a pullback, as I said, to 6,000 area potentially to somewhere around 59. If we get below this, if we get below 5,600, I would say potentially everyone needs to just be careful because that's kind of like the initiation for a sell-off potentially to test this April low, which is very, very soon if you want to prejudge that one. So we should just stay with the trend. Trend is up. There is no sign for a crash or kind of like a bear market. However, NFP actually came up very weak, and that's kind of like a market excuse to the downside. Earnings actually were pretty outstanding, almost for every single stock that I've reviewed, the important ones. They were pretty good. Starbucks, Visa, Amazon, Apple, big tech is actually, they have done a great earnings, except Tesla, which was kind of like a foreseeable. But the rest actually did very well. And next week we will have AMD semiconductors are going to announce, and by end of this month we will see Nvidia. So all in all, I should say we should just be kind of like on a cautious side, just for a correction, and this correction can give us a good buying opportunity. So still, I'm bullish for the long term. However, for the short term, as I said before, we need to just be careful about the market. Daily chart is the same. So this is kind of like the roadmap that I have. We are in the middle of this A wave, and last 2 days, we just had a very nice institutional level. Let me show you. Here's the chart, or SPY, which is S&P 500 ETF. And you see that the volume for the last 2 days, August 1st and July 31st, the volume goes over 100 million. So whenever volume goes over 100 million for SPY, especially at very pivotal point, I'm telling you, institution got involved, and this is a sell-off for institution compared to the other volumes. You see that just hardly it's getting above a 60 million, which is the average is 60 million for SPY. See that the volume gets doubled in 2 days. And that's the sign for institution involvement for this sell-off. And sure enough, we saw that this sell-off is here, and we are in the middle of this kind of like a correction to the downside. This is exactly what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this, but market just pushed higher. Next level. No one can predict the levels, the exact level beforehand, but there are some levels that we should see some kind of like a danger zone is happening right now. The next level that I'm looking at is 6,100 for a good support. Potentially early next week, we will find out a good support around here and then bounce back up. So it depends how far this bounce can get. But if we get a bounce and it just consolidate or kind of like a seeing the rollover sign, we are going to be beginning of the C wave, and the C wave can go all the way down to 5,900 for S&P 500. For NASDAQ, I've done a video just posted yesterday. So for those folks who are seeing this video, I'm recording this on Friday, but I posted video for NASDAQ yesterday. A very complete video for that one. I'm not gonna go through everything again, but as you see, a NASDAQ just breaking through SMA 20. We may find support here, 22,500, getting back up, or even 22,300, getting back up and bounce for a next sharp sell-off potentially to 21,000 area. So we will see. We will see how it goes for NASDAQ, as I said again. So I'm going to put a link up there here. So make sure watch that video as well. Moving on to Dow. Dow is the same. So it's just reversing to the downside. Earlier than the other ones, you see that Dow actually initiated a sell-off after hitting this triple top here. If we go to, let me go to weekly chart. Weekly shows a very nice engulfing pattern at the top, and we may go all the way down to 42,100. Middle of this white range bar is going to be a good support area here. So we will see if that holds this at 42,000. We should just give benefit of doubt, which I believe that Dow is forming a pretty nice scenario. You see that here is the the pattern, and we may see some kind of like a see here. If we see a reversal, that would be a very fantastic reverse head and shoulder to the upside, which is gonna lead us for a new rally to new all-time high for Dow Jones. So we will see how it goes. But if we break through below this level and continue to the downside, then this pattern is going to be invalidated. A daily chart tells us that we are already getting into oversold condition, and potentially sooner than the other indexes, we may see Dow reacting to this level. However, the best level is going to be 42,000 or even lower than that. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to gold, which is precious metals, just getting back to the upside. Nice overbought condition, oversold condition. On a daily chart, we got nice breaking through to the upside. And I allocated some silver and gold in my portfolio of that one. So we'll see how it goes. But these ones can getting up to new all-time high potentially. And here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart, you see that this is just the monthly and weekly consolidation for a next rally potentially to 38 to 3,900. So we will see how it goes for gold and silver. Especially gold can lead higher as well. Moving on to let me just go down here to silver. Silver is the same. So we find support here, and the correction is over, and we may see some kind of like a getting back to the upside for silver, and we should see a rally is coming. So today bond yield just crashing to the downside, and that's why power of the dollar actually is getting looser or weaker. And that's why precious metals are getting into a rally phase. Crude, just nothing spectacular this week. Just have a nice week going up early, and then last 2 days going down. So still consolidation. If we take out this $65, crude can go all the way down to 51 to 53. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to individual names, starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, a bullish consolidation seems like to fail to the downside, and still looking for this area for a great buying opportunity. If that happens, I'm not sure. Ethereum forming a nice reversal here, and we may go down to 2,900, 3,000 minimum for a next buying opportunity. Bond yield, look at this. crashing to the downside, over 6% down. Let me just double check the percent. Actually, 7%. Yes, so 7% for bond yield getting to the downside. So that brings TLT or bond spike up today nicely as $87. But after hours, it just sold out. But I would say this bond potentially can lead higher to 93, 94, even $100 is coming potentially. But all in all, I should say bond can go higher. Dixie is getting back down. You see that crashing to the downside. And usually this is a ABC corrective move. Very, very typical classical pattern. ABC up within the downtrend, then getting back to the downside potentially for lower. Dollar is coming down the road, and VIX is spiking up more than 20%. VIX can go to 27, 29 actually in potentially later this month. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to Apple, which they announced like outstanding. Look at market just going all the way down. Apple 202 right now, and it can go lower to this area potentially. And we may see some kind of like a good buying opportunity. Still waiting for that one. Amazon just sold off sharply, 7% to the downside. Amazon $200, I would say per share, could be a great buying opportunity. Meta, after hitting new all-time high, going down. Earning was amazing, but I would say 640, 656 still is on my book. So we will see how it goes. Microsoft, after huge gap to the upside, going down. So this is kind of like the exhaustion, and we should see some kind of like a corrective move from Microsoft, and that would be exponential rally. And right now it needs to have a cool down, a correction potentially 480, 490. Google is the same, just going up and then down. Find a support here. Google actually is better than the other one. It's still within this range. It didn't go to new all-time high. However, earning was great. Netflix going down today as well. So Netflix already started to the downside, and I believe a 1,000 level for Netflix is coming. Tesla, it's not that bad. 300 actually find a support here and still stocking within this range. I still believe that Tesla can go higher. But if we get below this, 291, I would say Tesla can go all the way down to these gaps. Still lots of gaps here. So we'll see how it goes with Tesla. SMH, which is semiconductor index, going down today and find a support. SOX, the same pattern here going down, but I believe that there are more downsides for these names. NVIDIA going down after yesterday top, just to find a support there, 130, 173, but I would say still NVIDIA can go lower than that. So there is going to be a potential scenario 150 to 156, but NVIDIA is very, very strong. You see that movement is outstanding, needs to cool down a bit. AMD just going down. Next week, we'll have earning as well. So this one can go higher next week, potentially with market bounce. These names can go higher. Taiwan Semiconductor stocking in this range. So as I said before, this is going to be a good reversal scenario for Taiwan. Texas Instrument going down and then getting back up. Find the support here. I would say Texas still can go another lower low before the final bottom. This is very nice gap, and I would say if Texas goes down here to this area, that would be very interesting to buy. Lam Research going back up nicely, $96 after yesterday gap down, getting back up. So today as well, Lam is one of those names that ended up positive, which is rare for today market. And moving on to financials. Financials gap down like the rest of the market, but they're getting close to the support. So if it goes to 50, I would say we may see some kind of like a support. KBE, you see that large cap bank ETF find a support already here. KRE, the same pattern here. Look at the patterns. They already find a support. JP Morgan as well. So we got the first support here, but that could be kind of like a pivot. Goldman Sachs is the same. Bank of America going down, however, find a support here. I would say all of them, they're kind of like finding the first support. It doesn't mean that this is going to be final. Potentially, we're going to see a rally and a perfect head and shoulder on the top for the next sell-off. GDX, the gold miners, they're just forming up a choppy consolidation here. I would say they can go higher if especially yield is going down, and that's going to be released on these now. GDXJ as well, the same. AEM forming a bullish consolidation. Newmont is forming a bullish consolidation on the top as well. It's pretty choppy, but I would say they're all the same. XLE, they're very, very confused. I would say this is very, very zigzag choppy consolidation. They're in no man's land. However, if they take out either these two trend lines, it could be very, very spiky. Exxon, it's just going down 109 and then it can just get back to the upside. Chevron is the same. 151 is there and it can just going up and down, but I would say either 140 or 161 could be a very important levels for them. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.